Hey there, and thank you for checking out this budget template version 2 demo video. Before we get started though, I do want to tell you, if you go down into the description, there will be some instructions there telling you how you can get your hands on a free spreadsheet. So it'll take you to a page. There'll be 3 different spreadsheets there. You can choose which one you want based on your current needs. So that'll give you something to kind of play around with. All right, so back to the demo video. Whenever you first get this file, the first page you're going to see is this start here. And on the start here, it just gives you some instructions on how to set up your budget. And the first set of instructions are the YouTube tutorial, which is what you're watching right now. So if you click the little button here, it'll take you to this video here. And then if you scroll on down here a little bit, you'll see where it says click to view the example template. This template is the template we're going to go over in this demo. So you have that there to be able to look back on and reference if you need it. And then if you scroll on down, there's written instructions for those who like for things to be written out for them. Okay. Your next tab is going to be just a blank budget tab, and this is where you'll start off with, this is your clean slate to get started on. Now let's go over to the example budget. Now the example budgets, go back to the blank tab. You'll see here that instead of this tab down here saying budget, it says blank. That's because whenever I create my budgets, I like to name my tabs for what they are. If anything messes up, say you accidentally delete out a formula, because this template or this spreadsheet, it's got automation in it to where it'll automatically calculate your stuff for you, so that way you don't have to do it. But say you accidentally delete out a formula and you're like, oh no, what have I done? You'll always have that blank tab there for you to be able to go back and just do it again. So it's no big deal. The second tab that I would recommend you to have is a master. And what the master does is it keeps you from entering the same information over and over and over. You can use this budget template for a weekly budget, a bi-weekly, a paycheck, a monthly. You can use it for any kind of budget that you like. But once you make that determination, say you do a monthly, which is what we will be using it for this demo, then each month you don't want to type all that stuff in. So you just create a master tab, and that will let you type everything in one time and then just duplicate the tab. It'll save you a lot of time, trust me. All right, so let's go back to the blank. So in order to make it a blank, you can keep it as budget, rename it as blank, whatever you want to do. All you got to do is double click it and rename it, or you can right click it and hit rename, and it does the same thing. So rename that. Once you have your blank ready, then go ahead and right click the blank and hit duplicate. So whenever you hit duplicate, what's going to happen is it's going to give you another tab, and that tab is going to say copy of whatever, copy of blank, copy of budget, whatever it is. It'll say copy of. So what you'll do is you'll just double click it, or you'll right click and click rename, and you'll change that to master, and that will give you your master tab. All right. Once we have the master tab, then we can go ahead and fill that in so that it can be duplicated for each of your budgets. All right, before we get started though, I do want to mention, and I'll go over here to the budget tab to show this to you. I do want to mention that these shaded areas here, those have formulas in them. And then, of course, you've got these headers up here. You can change any of these to anything you like. Say you don't like the word bills, then you can go up here and you can change this to expenses if you like. It's whatever you want to do. And whenever you do that, because it's a shaded area and because it's protected, you might get this heads up warning here. If you get it, that's okay. If you meant to make that change, then you just click OK and it will change it. But say you went in here and you accidentally fat fingered some stuff and you hit enter and it's like, oh crap, I didn't mean to do that. Then all you have to do is click cancel. So the shaded areas, try your best not to change them. If you do, it's no biggie. You can always just cancel out of the whole heads up warning. Okay. Let's go back to master. So what we'll do here is for the master, you don't want to fill in the dates because, you know, it's a master. There's not going to be any dates yet. You probably, unless you're going to have the same starting amount each budget, you're probably not going to fill in the starting amount. It's probably going to stay zero. What you'll do is you'll go down and you'll start filling in your income and your descriptions and your planned amount. So you'll do that for income, you'll do that for your bills, you'll do that for your debt, and for your purchases. These amounts are already, or I'm sorry, these categories are already filled in for you, but you can change these to anything you like. And whenever you change them, say for instance here on baby, say we don't have a baby, say we have horses. So let's just type in horses. All right, so when we type that in there and you come down here in this spreadsheet, you'll list in your purchases individually. But when you make that change up there, if you come here and click on this down arrow, you'll see that now says horses. It doesn't say baby. So don't be afraid to change your categories. Make them unique to you, whatever you want, and it'll change across your spreadsheet for you. Okay? So you'll decide on your categories, you'll put in your planned, and then you will come down to like the sinking funds and the savings, and you'll do the same thing. You'll put into the description and what you're planned for each of those. And then, of course, purchases for your master. You're not going to have anything in there because this is just a master. You haven't made any kind of purchases yet. All right. We have our master complete. So we're done. We've got everything filled in. We're ready to start creating our budget for whatever time frame that we want to create it for. So you'll right-click master. You'll click duplicate, and whenever you do, it's going to create another tab that says copy of master. So you'll just double click that and you'll change it to whatever you want to change it to. So the one that I'm going to do here is going to be it's going to be the month of January of 2025. So I'm just going to type in Jan 2025 and hit OK because I did mean to make that change. Heads up warning. So now we're ready to start entering in our information specific to January 2025. So we'll put in our start date, we'll put in our end date, and when you do that, you'll notice it'll concatenate it here at the top for you. And one thing I didn't mention before is currency. If you change this US dollar, it'll change throughout the spreadsheet. So you make that change one time there. That's why it's white, because you can change it, and when you do, it'll change all the shaded areas. All right, so then you'll enter your starting amount. Say your starting amount is $21.76. So we'll enter that amount there. And then you'll come down for your income and your bills, all the stuff you've already got filled in that pulled over from the master. If you need to make any adjustments to the plan, do that. If you need to make any adjustments to the income descriptions, do that. If you say you don't need these two here, then just delete them out. You know, this is make it yours, make it the way you need it to be. All right. Now, once you get that all done, then you're ready to start your budget. So say you start getting bills in, and say you get your electric bill in. Let me go ahead, let me do this right here so that it won't keep clicking up on us. So you get your electric bill in, and you know that your electric bill is going to be $249.96. Then you'll just you'll type that amount in there. You won't check it off yet because it hasn't been paid, but you know that it's going to be that amount. So you just go ahead and type it in, and then once it's paid, you can check it off. It'll gray it out so that way you'll know that bill has been paid. Right? And you don't even have to, say the cell phone bill, say you're doing this weekly, and your cell phone bill doesn't fall within that week. If you don't want to remove it, you don't have to. You can just pay attention to your actual. So if you fill in your actuals up here, and if you hear a noise in the background, I apologize. It's my little dog back there playing. So you fill in your actuals, and your actuals is going to reflect right up here on left to spend. And it's going to show you what you have left to spend, your available and your spent. This here is the budget part. All right. So as you do that, your left to spend will change. It'll show you what you've got left. You'll fill this out based on your circumstances, based on all of your actuals. For your purchases, you'll see that these are all shaded in. Reason why is because it'll pull that information from down here. So as you make purchases, then you will fill this in down here, and these amounts will automatically calculate up here. So it'll tell you what your actual is, and it'll tell you what you have remaining left for those purchases. Same thing with sinking funds and savings. You'll fill in your actuals as you have it, and you'll see your differences down below each of these areas. Okay, now one thing that I really like about these spreadsheets that I've been creating is the being able to analyze what it is you've done. So say you got your purchases in, and you want to see where all you got fuel from. So then you can come here and put in fuel, and it will give you all the fuel information. Or if you put in groceries, and this will be a drop down. Whenever you see it, that will be a drop down thing. I don't know why it didn't pull the drop down over. So if you type in groceries, it's going to give you all the grocery transactions. So that way you can analyze those and be able to see where it is you're spending your money. So that's pretty much it for each budget that you want to do. You'll just create another, go to your master, and you'll do duplicate and create a new budget. And I guess one other thing I should show you is that there's an overview over here that gives you everything, gives you all your planned numbers. It gives you your actual numbers, and then down here it shows you your remainings. And then of course your graphs up here, they show you what's left to budget, left to spend, and then your spending breakdown and your purchases breakdown, so you can see where you're spending most of your money in your purchases. So that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. I hope it's helpful, and if you're interested in getting this budget and you don't have it already, then look down in the description. There'll be instructions down there on how you can get your hands on this budget. So, all right, I'll let you go, and I hope to see you again in another video. Thanks. Bye.